Okay, let's talk about this here just for a brief minute is all. Okay, I took the short little screws that were in there, these little screws, took those out, put some long ones in here. Okay, now does it matter on those other ones? Could I put these short screws in? Yeah, I could put the short screws in. Could I put something in there longer? Yeah, I could put something longer in there. These screws are only going to get tight into the wood of the door jamb. And so if I just make them snug, and that's it. I don't have, if I try to tighten it and tighten it, all I'm going to do is start spinning that. If I put any screw in there, I could put a screw like this, same thing. It's just going to get, all I'm doing is tightening it into the 3/4 inch door jamb, not going into anything else. I could put a 3-inch long screw in there. It's still going to spin, because all it's going to be doing is going into the back side, the side edge of the drywall that's behind there. So see, I might just want to use my little screws and just make them snug. That's it. Yeah, they're not going to match. I could, like I said, I could get some corrector, white corrector fluid, put them on there if I wanted, and fix that. So I'm just gonna put these. I'm just gonna put these back in. You know, that's all I'm gonna do. I've got long screws in the other ones. The long screws are the 2 screws up there. They're 2 inch or at least 2 inches long, and those are the ones that are holding this whole hinge coming out at an angle. These screws here are just filling up those holes, and that's pretty much it. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so now I got to put the top ones in, and I'll pretty much be done. Yeah. Now, if you said, "Hey, Joe, you still got to tap the hinge pins down," yes, I do. Okay, so I'll get a hammer and tap those down. I like to do that. I don't like leaving stuff out, then it looks like I'm not done with the job. And then I'll vacuum up. I've got a little vacuum thing out here. I'll blow all this, clean it all up, wipe the door down, double check everything, and see, as I push on there, it pushes that tight. That's all looking nice up there. That's a little closer now, not as big of a gap. And I still have the gap behind here that actually pulls the door over, not helping it sag, fix the sag per se, because I fixed the sag the other way. Okay, there's a lot of stuff you've learned on this job, on just this one door. And you know, I'm looking at this. If I were to put a straight edge on the door jamb from the top to the bottom, I'll wager that from here down to about there, this door jamb sucks in ever so little. Somebody didn't have the shims in there just right, because see, I still got a slightly bigger gap in the middle, but if you look at it down at the bottom, there's not that, you know, there's 1/8 inch or no more than 3/16. There's about the same gap there, and then it spreads just a little bit there. And you know, the only way to fix that, if you really wanted to, you'd have to take off the door trim, this trim just on the inside, and you'd have to score it with a sheetrock knife, be careful with it, pull it out, and then you could put some shims in here, and all you're doing is shimming this edge about halfway through. You're not going to move the outside or anything, and all you're doing is tweaking that over to make this nice and straight. Then you'd have to put that back on. You could reuse the same one, then you have to recalk it, fill up the nail holes, and this is going to be moved over a little bit, and you're going to have to recalk that edge and stuff. I mean, you could do all that, but it's in the garage. I'm not going to worry about it. There's weather stripping on the outside. With me putting new weather stripping on it here after a while, it's going to be fine. Okay, but that's something else you could do as well. Okay, so I'll get it all cleaned up, and I think that's going to be it for this project. Yeah. See, the light's not very good in here, is it? Ah. Here we go. That's all I got for this time. But I'll be back with more videos, and hopefully you learned something. You spent a little time with VideoJoe. You saw what it takes. Patience and determination to get something done. A never give up attitude. And if that's you, that's what my videos will show you. How an average Joe is going to fix things around the house to save money. And you're learning it from an average Joe. What could be better than that? Because you can see all the trials and tribulations I go through in order to get something fixed. You'll be able to see how I Joe Guyver certain things in the future. If you choose to continue to watch my videos, you'll learn all that stuff. You'll learn how to save money. Keep that money in your pocket. Why pay somebody else when you can do it yourself? Alrighty then.